Oh, but a warm welcome to you, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have some more music to create, and a new thing about today is that we have some music for picture to create.
So we have this video over here from when I was baking bread with my family. However, I decided to play with my camera instead of helping. Sorry, but no matter. The thing is, the video should have some music, of course. So we're going to compose something.
You see, about this project now is that this video, it doesn't really happen anything in it more than people are baking bread. And when nothing's really happening in a music scenario, you start to think of this thing called elevator music. Now, when I'm thinking of elevator music, I'm thinking jazz.
The other day, when I was playing around a bit with my piano, I found a little melody. So I recorded it on my phone here, and it sounds like this. Okay, nice. That is actually better than I remembered it to be.
First of all, we need to sort of sketch out these melodies and voicings and harmonies and basses.
First of all, sketch the melody.
And they will first of all take the form of pianos. So think of this, we're going to put a bunch of pianos into a bowl and then mix it all together and then serve it as a jazz ensemble.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Get this. In this first part of the video, things are moving, we're entering the house, someone's playing with the dough, someone's cutting the dough, someone's handing out dough again, and what more is happening? That's just a sweep onto the dough. What I want to come to is that let the melody rest at that part.
And so once that melody is sort of resting, we have the opportunity in slightly altering that theme into another one for the next phrase. If we take a look at the spectra of the entire song and the entire video in its whole form, we have these sort of small sections we can point out quite easily. So we have this sort of first one, which is sort of the main theme. Then we have this sort of second one, which is a slightly altered main theme. Then we have this sort of third section, which we will leave empty at the moment. But then the fourth one, we will have the exact same main theme as the first one.
Let's do this. We do the last part, which is the exact same thing. 2, 3, 4, 1. And then we're going to have some sort of a middle part. And that should be some sort of a little growlier part, you know, it's a little grittier, it's hotter, it's flames, it's fire, it's burning, it's bread. Before we trying to do some kind of a melody for the fire part, this thing where it leads to silence. Let us focus a bit more on the harmony. So harmony-wise, we just want some basic notes hanging in the background just to give some kind of a template of where we want to go. So let's make it ultra simple.
So now, when it's time to sketch out the third theme of the song, it's a great opportunity to sort of lay the foundation of a solo. So next time we arrived for composing for the little video, I had a slight little clumsy mistake.
So I just realized that the things I just recorded I forgot to record the screen and the sound. How lame of me. But the things that happened is that we changed the melody the second time that the sort of main theme comes around again. So first of all, we have this sort of main theme. And there's a bass now as well. Okay, right, good. But then we have this sort of second melody that is playing as a voice as well. With a walking bass. Then there's nothing new. Truth be told, it does sound a little pathetic, but who cares? We should have some kind of a second voicing in the last returning part of the main theme. Okay, let's just try it out. Well, that could have gone better.
And so we had some more tries using rejections,
Nah,
frustrations,
damn it.
questions,
How's that then?
adjectives,
It's so...
sighing, commands,
Try again.
encouragement.
Come on. 1, 2. Something sounds really shit. Well, I think that's the answer. That's a little too jazzy for my taste. 1, 2. That should have done it. Let's see if we can move in some sort of counter lines or extra melodies. Dun, da, do, do. Oh, we can do some kind of answering thing. So you see this. Okay, no, that didn't real fit. Okay, that wasn't really as easy as I thought. Beautiful.
And so now, ladies and gentlemen, it has been time to move on to the next step. We have now drawn the outline, the sort of sketch, the framework behind the entire song, and now the time has come for us to assign these parts for each instrument. So you see this bass here. So when I play this on the piano, you can see these sort of green notes here. That is the notes I played. So what we can do now is we can mark this sketch bass file. We can copy the bass file, and then we can choose an instrument to play these notes. And I will choose to use these large double basses in an orchestra. However, I want to choose one, the so-called bass leader. So the reason we use one is because it's going to be sort of a more intimate feeling with the leader himself, or herself for that matter. It just feels better to have this sort of closer connection to one person. So you see, if you marry someone, you will preferably marry one instead of several, because it just feels a bit ethical wrong to marry more people. Right, off subject. It sounds a bit like someone sneaking. Next thing, let's assign the melody itself. And I thought we could use an organ for that purpose. I don't really know how organs work. Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, good gracious, there are a lot of things to fiddle and twiddle with. Okay. It's gonna be fine. Yep. We assign the harmonies now. And for those harmonies, a string quartet above the normal bass would be splendid. And I see this sort of lonely melody with just a melody in the organ. I just feel like I can do that better. So I just think I will start to get involved. Just do it by ourselves. Well, that's it. Yeah, nice. Now, once we're at it, just recording the organ, I'd like to take you back for a little while into the beginning of the project and take a little listen to what it sounded like when we actually did discuss what kind of an ensemble we would end up with in the finished version of the project. Let's just take a little listen. General thoughts in the start of the project. I'm thinking we're playing jazz, and I think we should have some kind of a small ensemble. No big, large thing, just small, quite intimate. And as a second thing, we're baking bread in this video. Or my family is baking bread, and I am not helping. Anyway, what do we associate bread with? Who do we associate bread with? The French. And what do we associate the French with? Accordions. We have a good plan. But maybe we should just try to keep it simple. You know, just this. We're not going to muddle with these sort of... It's going to be way too muddy to do those. So we're going to keep those out and just play the melody. Great. What a splendid plan. I changed my mind. We can keep the accordion, but for the love of God, do not let the accordion play the melody. So we're going to do this instead. Nice. I want to play piano. And my thoughts are sort of straying and looking at the brass. Like, hey there, little fella. Would you like to participate? Let's just try it out. This sound does not fit with the sound that I have built. So without a further ado, the brass. And let's do something else. And add some spices with this little counterline we created. How about a flute? Doesn't that seem French? Like a piccolo. Good idea, but this is not a piccolo flute. It's just a flute. gracious, the song sounds ridiculous. Well, no matter. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I feel it's time to start sort of finishing off the project itself. You see, we have this sort of small jazz We have this sort of small jazz ensemble, but we don't have a drum kit. So let's get that fixed. So the drum kit was the only instrument we did not sketch out at all in the beginning, mainly because it would sound very strange having a drum kit being played upon a piano. And not that it did not sound strange having all the other instruments being played upon different pianos mushed together, because it did sound very strange. And even though most of the instruments have been assigned, it still sort of sounds very strange. But no matter. So now the entire project is sort of approaching its end station and the song draws towards a close. But this is what it sounds like now without being mixed and mastered. Well, it's not cool. It's quite ridiculous actually. But who cares? Let's mix it and then we'll be back for the result.